Okay, so welcome back to the second part of this video. I hope you been able to practice all we did in the last video. Once again, welcome to Splendor Analytics Academy. And if you are new here, if you are just seeing this video for the first time, please, like I said again, this video or this project we are building might be in parts. Okay, so you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel and then follow us and turn on the notification. You also want to check follow us on Twitter, Splendor Analytics, and also on LinkedIn, Splendor Analytics. So we'll be posting from there. And you can also follow Splendor on Twitter, which is @ion_Uchenna. Okay. On Twitter, AGK Splendor Uchenna. On LinkedIn, Splendor is spelled SPLENDOR, no U. Okay. That's Splendor. And if you don't see his tweets, if you don't see from Splendor Analytics, you can also follow Shades of Seed on Twitter, and she might be posting some of the video links. You can also follow her on LinkedIn, Sidika Lawan on LinkedIn. You can also follow me, G_Toluwalashe, and you can follow me on LinkedIn as well. Connect to me on LinkedIn as well. I don't want to talk about Toluwalashe. Gabriel. Okay, that's by the way. So now let's get straight to the video. So during the last video, we had the privilege of doing the data transformation, normalizing the data, breaking it down into fact and dimensions table, and then we built our model here, right? And afterwards, we kind of created a custom table, and then we did this our date table. Now, normally, right, because I've already done this before, if I were doing it afresh alone or probably in a webinar and uploading data for the first time, the first sort of things I want to do is to start writing my DAX, okay? Start writing my DAX, understanding how going through the project brief over and over again and understanding what I need to do, at least start with my base measures, start writing my base measures and all of that. Now, but because I already know what I want, and like I said, we are replicating this, right? This is what we are replicating. I just want to start with the wireframe, okay? You pardon me, I just want to start with the wireframe, and then we'll try to, I think what we'll do is we'll write the DAX as we build, okay? Usually what I would do is I'll have like 2 or 3 pages within my Power BI desktop where I have my rough, you can call it rough because I'll write the DAX, use whether I card KPI, the card visual, or any of the cluster of column chart, any of the bar column chart to just check out how my visual is performing and all of that. We are just doing rough analysis, but because I've already done this, I just need to take them one after the other, okay? If that makes sense. So what we're going to do is now we're going to come back to our desktop, and we are going to start building our wireframe. And what is our wireframe? Of course, that's how we anticipate or we want our visual to appear. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to click on this button. You can see it formats. You come to your homes or your view. You can have them here. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to work on the background. I want to change the background setting to customize one, and then I want to change the background setting to the size of the background to 1750 by 200. Okay. 1750 by 2500. You can change it to also to the goal is that when you are changing when you are customizing your canvas, it's called canvas, right? When you are customizing them, you want to pay attention to the audience that will be using the report, whether they are going to be using phone a lot or desktop. But here I just want to assume most majority of the persons will be using desktop, right? And although normally I'll do first page screenshot and or probably export and side looks in a desktop view, but let's just use this. Okay, so that is done. I want to use the background color. Okay, talking about colors, now this is the color palette that I'll be using. Okay, this color palette I'll be using. I'll just be picking some of the colors from here and we'll use them, and this might be added to the other data set and other things that will be attached to this video. Okay, so the background color I'm going to use, I have it down somewhere, so I'm just going to copy it, okay, and bring it here. The background color, I'm going to do more colors, and I'm going to paste it, and this. Now notice that it's not showing. If I reduce the transparency, you see it's keeping, but I want to leave this transparency at 55% or 50, or 60 to make it lighter. Anyone? Okay, I'll leave it here, and I want to insert shape. So now I'm just going to do a few stuff. So I'm going to insert shape. Now remember, this is what we want to recreate. So I'm going to insert this shape first, and then I'm going to insert all of these shapes, all of these together, and while I'm doing that, I'm just going to use I'm just going to be using the color so you see how it looks at the end of the day. So we manage time and all of that. Okay. So I'm going to insert, and basically I'll just be using your time all through. Okay. So, and another thing I will do a lot is I will be using the view option a lot. Okay. So I'm going to do this. This is the end, and I'm going to resize this to 470 for the height, and this would be for 2000. 2500. If I 500. Okay, so that we're sure it's covering this. So I'm going to use this color. Also, like I said, the color palette will be given to us. Let me show you again. Where is that? Hold on. So this color palette will be given. So this is the first color I'll be using. I think I'll use this and this. I'll use this as my background, and then I'll use this as my main color, and just use them once. See how we can make use of them. So for this color, I'm just going to use this. I'm going to check the style. I don't want border. So I'm going to use the border color. I'm going to switch it up, and then for this field, I'm going to add this to it and give it this background. Notice that I have it in my more color, so I may not have to be copying over again. So I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm just going to duplicate this and duplicate this. So I'm going to copy and paste, and I have this here, and I'm going to resize this to change this color to white. Okay, but then let me resize it first. I'm going to resize it to, let's adjust this here. Okay, now usually, like I said, I would have finished my analysis, and then from what I have in my analysis, I would be able to know what I want to do, how my wireframe will be. But because I've done this before, of course, I can always just come back to it. I know what it is. I understand what I want to do. Of course, you can see it's replicated, and you know that we are here for something. So I'm going to do 2, 4, 5, 3. Okay, I'm going to change the color to white. 2, 4, 5, 3. I'm going to change the color to white. The fill, I'm going to change the fill to white, and you have a shadow here. I'm going to change it to white. Okay, let me check again if I have a shadow. I don't think I have shadow. I don't think so. I don't think I have a shadow. Okay. Let me see. I don't think if I have a shadow. So let me just come back to this place. My Power BI. We'll do that later. So I'm just going to select these two. Okay, I'm going to select this as well. Come to format, and then align center. And I want to probably bring this to the front, bring it to the front, and let me pull out this. I'm going to take this one now. So I have better view. Let me see. View, what view am I using? Let me see this. Oof. This is not too good. So let me see if this makes sense. Okay. I think this is better like this. And I'm going to duplicate this. I think I have a shadow. I think I have shadow there. Let's add a shadow and see. Let's see. Then just turn the shadow on, and now to use shadow, and I want to use okay. I think this is okay. I don't know if it makes any difference, but then I think it's okay. I'm not going to duplicate this. I'm going to do control. I'll bring in here one. Bring in a new shape, and then we style this into 4 different places. 4 different places. And I think one thing I want to also do is that I want to name them as because I will be doing some what's it called now at the end of the day. I'm doing some what's that again? And some grouping. Okay, I'm gonna do some grouping. So let's have it that way. I'm gonna do this 620 by 420 by 596. Okay, 420 by 596, and then I'm going to duplicate this, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Okay, so I think I'm just going to highlight this and distribute it horizontally. Okay, and then I'm going to change it to white. I know I don't want shadow. Let me just change the fill color to white. White, and I'm going to remove the border. Okay, let's see. Okay, this makes sense. By getting there. Okay, so I have this KPI there so that I don't come back to it again. I say KPI sliders. I have the sliders here, so I think I'll just leave a placeholder there, a shape like a placeholder, so that I don't come back to adjusting all of this again. So I would copy this and paste, and then bring it up here at the placeholder. See if it makes sense somewhere here. The size should be should be 70 by 291. Okay, let's just add this at the placeholder here. Now you may be wondering, these things are not looking, how will this size be enough? Of course, I'll show you the actual size. So let me do this. Let me align to the left. Okay. Now, if you come to view, this will help you a lot. This is the actual size you'll be seeing. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit. I'm going to bring this up a little bit, and then I'm going to highlight these three, and I would come to this place and distribute vertically to give it, and let me come back. Let me zoom out. I'm going to be doing this a lot, zooming out, zooming in, and I'm just going to select all of this, and I'll align to the top. Okay, format, align top. Everything will be on the same. Now it's vertically, horizontally distributed, and they're on the same stuff. So I would also do this. I think I have a placeholder here for my parameters. So I'm going to copy this and bring it somewhere here. So I have, okay, I'm bringing it somewhere here at the placeholder. I think the size I used here was 61 for the height, 61. Okay, and the length can be anything for now. We just adjust that later. I did that later. 61 by 61. 61. Let's just leave it here for now. The placeholder. So let me just take it back to the original size. Okay, so I'll have to do this again. I'll use this a lot to help me. But before that, I would have to adjust this a little bit to the top and do this. I'm going to start from this end because I'm going to copy and paste, and I'm going to have this here. Yeah, I think it's better like this. This size, something like this. So head for 7. So yes, I have this like this. Okay, let me just copy paste and bring it down here. Okay, and let me copy paste this, bring it here. Let me do this and do this. Perhaps this is what I had there, and this is the width you have. It's the same. Now I can adjust this manually, but I already, like I said, I have, and then the height is just, I can leave the height like this for now. So I'm going to duplicate, copy and paste this, and then I'm going to bring this here. I am going to do this, and I'm going to adjust this. So let's start from this place. Okay, now this is why I'm having to do all of this, is because I would yeah, I think this is okay like this. So I'll select these three and align it, distribute it vertically. Yeah, I think it's okay. I'll then come here and try to balance this stuff. So I think it's better this way. So we have this. I think it's better like this. It's better. Let me just adjust this a little bit. I want to try to make sure that this and this are, if not the same, similar. So they are close rather. I think it's better like this. So it's not close to, it's not close to this already. Let me see. Let me reduce this, and this should give, okay, the guideline should help me. I think I'm on the same line. Let me see if I can format to the left. One of them, okay, makes sense. I can do this using the guideline. Change that okay, and then reduce this. Okay, so this is what you have. This is what we have for now. Let me go back to this view. This is what we have for now. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to reduce this to make this line, and I may have to do zoom out again to be able to help me do this well. So I'm going to do this, and I think it's better like this. Okay, so I think this size is saying the height is 463, and I think I want to use the same height here. Let's see, 463, and I want to bring this down here, and I want to adjust this way. Okay, so this is our first page. I think the distance between these three and not this one is not okay. But then let me zoom out and adjust this a little. This is why I zoom out, is because it allows me to do this little adjustment that I can do. Okay, that I want to do. So let's see. Let me click out here. I think it's better. So what I will do is I will call this my overview page. I'll call this overview. I'll call this overview. Overview. And that's what I have it named here. Sorry, I'm referring to it over and over because yeah, if I have overview, I have something like this, and I will then look for a way, okay, shipping mode. Okay, so and okay, just so you see the shipping mode again, this is what we are trying to achieve in the second page. This is what we are trying to achieve in the second page. So I'll just come back here and duplicate this. I'll just duplicate, and I'll call this shipping mode. And of course, what I want to do is I want to delete all of this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this, and I'll just expand this. I'll make it longer. Just expand this. Okay. Just expand it a little, bring it down a little. I should have left one of these ones to first use it to measure it. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, like this. I'll do the same for this. I'll do the same for this. Then I'll do the same for this. So just to be sure I did not do any shaking, although I'm sure I did not, but then let me distribute horizontally. Of course, you can see that they were just and then I want to align button, align top. So come back to my view or zoom out or zoom using the mouse and do this. Okay, so this is what we have. I think we also have stuff here. Did I delete that already? Let me check my selection. So the shape, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I thought I had a shape here. Oh, I've got it here without. So, okay. Now, for some of us, we can actually do this. Not it for now. This, all of this. If you are sure of what you want to do, you can actually do them in PowerPoint or Figma, and then bring them here and just bring in your chart and all that. This because of what you are doing, you might do some adjustments here and there. So you better we just use PowerPoint, Power BI desktop rather, to do our wireframe. We don't want to make an adjustment. We don't have to go back to the external source where we design our stuff and bring it and go and make the correction and then import it here. Of course, you can bring in background of the picture. So this slides will be used the other time. Let me zoom out and then try to adjust. Then try to adjust. I think it makes sense. The placeholder. So let me see. This makes sense. Align left. Distribute vertically. Okay, I think it's better now. So I'll just copy this. Control C and bring it here. And we are here, okay? I think that's better, that makes sense. Let me see how many minutes have we spent on this video. I think about 25 minutes, okay? So our last page, I'll just duplicate this. I also, I don't think this thing is aligned, but I did just my eye. Okay, as I just said, let me quickly make an adjustment here. Okay, think this okay this way. Let's click here. Duplicate. I'm just going to call this my table view. Table view. I'm going to delete this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. So I'm going to do this. I think I don't need this as well. So that will give me an opportunity to drag this up a bit. So let me say 187. That's for 87. That would be I. On here. Okay, let me see. Let me see this again. Sorry, hold on. Let me see my last page again. Let me see. Okay, I think it's okay this way. I'll just make necessary adjustments here and there. I think it's better this way. I think it's better this way. We align here to the left. Let's see. Align right. And then I'll have to adjust for you to this here. Okay, so this is what we have, and we are done with our stuff. So let's come back to this. Like I said, we build and write our DAX at the same time. Now we're supposed to start our analysis and all of that. So the first thing I want to do in analysis is to understand the total shipment that were completed. We'll go to our data and see the total shipment that was completed, the shipment in progress we have, because we have some shipments ready for pickup. We have some that are not even started, they're not yet completed, probably because of logistic operational issues, and there are some that are in transit. Okay, some are in transit. So I just categorize all of them as shipment in progress, and then we have shipment value, and then we have average time, average shipment time. So from here we understand that we're likely going to have our first few DAX. Okay, so but for that I'm just going to do this. I'm going to come here and do enter data, and I'm going to start selecting my DAX. Okay, and I'm going to call this shipment. Containing DAX are right around shipment, and I'm going to do this, and oh wow, what happens? Let me see. So I have this created, and I have this created. So let's start writing. I think the first thing I want to do is I want to write the DAX for the total shipment. Okay, I want to write the DAX for the total shipment as my base measure. Like I said, usually I will write some base measures first. When I talk about base measures, there are measures that can be referred to in other measures. Okay, like your total, your average, understand, stuff like that that you can use inside your actual tax, okay, your base measure. So I think I'll start with total shipment and start with total shipment, okay. So I'll just count the rows, just count the new measures, and then I'm going to say count rows. And the more measure you write, the more that you write, the likelihood of your software lagging, your Power BI desktop lagging. But then you have to write some. I'm going to call this total shipment, and I'm sure there are no duplicates transactions. So I'm just going to do count ID. So I'm going to call this shipment ID from the fact table. I have to scan the total shipment from the fact table. I'm going to do this fact table shipment ID, and I'm going to close these brackets with this, and I'm going to do the shipment value, total shipment value. Total shipment value. Let me do this. Let me hide this so that it recognizes this array. Okay, capital table say. Then I'm going to do new measure. I'm going to do new measure, and that new measure I'm going to call this total shipment value. And this total shipment value is going to be the summation of what I have in my shipment value fact table. Okay, so that's what you will have this. That's what you have there, and so let's just go on. Okay, so I'm going to call this total shipment value, and I'm going to do sum. Of course, I think this is the only column I have value, and I'm going to close the brackets and do this. So what the other thing we're going to be doing is shipments completed, shipments not completed, shipment in transit, shipment ready for pickup. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So just write the DAX. Okay, so I'm going to do new measure, and I'm going to call this completed shipment, or just say shipments in transit. So I'm just going to use S completed, so you know it's shipment completed, and I'm going to use my calculate to be able to filter, and I'm going to say count rows. Okay, I'll count the entire table. I'm going to do my fact table. I'm going to close the bracket, filter it by shipment status. Okay, shipment status, and I'm going to say equal to completed. I'll close the bracket with this. So let's look at our table view again. So you know what we're trying to do. Come to this table view, you're going to see under your shipment, the shipment status we have here, there are 4. You have completed, in transit, not completed, ready for pickup. So you have priority level, high, low, medium, and then you have shipment type, express, standard, urgent. Okay, so you are focused here for now. So I'm going to come here and do that another measure, and this measure I'm going to call it I'm going to call it shipment not completed. I'm going to just say calculate count rows first fact table, and then I'm going to say status, where shipment status is equal to shipment status is equal to not completed. I'm going to close this bracket. I'm having an error here. Okay, it's also signed. Okay, so instead of writing this again, I'll just copy this and enter. They're allowed to. I'll just copy that and write for the third last one. This is why I'm breaking them down, is to know, track delivery, track every process, operational process, the complete operational process in transit, and I want to have them as my KPI in transit. Okay, and I'm going to have to rename it. Sorry, I'm going to have to rename it to shipment in transit. I'm going to write the last one for this category, this status. I'm going to call this one ready for pickup, ready for up. And I'm going to just highlight it, copy, and bring it here. Okay, so let's come back to our visual already that we have here. So remember, notice that we have this, and then we have some, let me zoom out a little bit so you can see. We have shipment, percentage of shipments, total shipment. We had a breakdown. If shipment was completed, how many percent of the completed ship, what's the percentage of the completed shipment against the total shipment? You see that it's actually very poor. Just 26% of the shipment have been completed. So we want to also have this breakdown. And if you notice, there we also have the shipment in progress. This is the summation of. Oh, one thing I did not show you that we have like a full description where you can see this metric shows shipment that are in transit or awaiting pickup, offering insight into delivery process stages. Okay, so we're going to have to calculate for shipment in progress. So after to do that, we are still going to use the same stuff. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to copy and I'll do this. I'll just make some adjustment to it. Okay, so I'm going to say calculate, but instead of saying fact table equal to this, I'm just going to say in, I want to say in completed, not completed rather, in not completed in transit, and then we have ready to use. Okay, it's not supposed to be ready to use, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Let me get proper breakdown. If I okay, shipment transit. If I just open the S in transit is already used. Okay, sorry, in progress. Okay, so I will come here and check this. Check this. Just open a new page. So we check all the bring in a card visual and check all of these stuff that we are written. Bring in a card visual. Look at the total shipments completed, about 14K. Let's do two decimal place, 17,000, about 16,742. Let me uncheck it. Let me show you this. So you see that, okay, in progress. Let me do two decimal place as well. Here also, let me do two decimal place. Here I'll do two decimal place. Have all my values in two decimal place. Places rather. I did the same here. The same here. Of course, you can adjust them later, but let me just do that now. Total shipments, I can have it like this, and then this one as well, I can have it like this. And yes, okay, so we have all of these. I think the next measure we are supposed to write will be what is the percentage of each of these shipments in the total shipments, right? So we're going to get completed percentage of completed shipments, percentage of completed shipment, percentage of shipment that are in transit compared to the total shipment. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to, of course, just divide. I'm going to call this percentage completed, and I'm going to say equal to divide. Now I'm going to divide the shipments completed. Okay, I'm going to divide this by the total shipments. These two are my base measures, right? I've referenced them here. So I'm going to add this 0 just so that it gives an alternate result. Instead of, if there's a denominator, right, that is 0, it will return blank. Okay, it will return blank for 0 instead of causing this 0 divided by the value we have, and I will do this. But before that, let me just copy and enter, because it's just going to be straightforward from on here. And I will do for transit as well. So I'll do this. Oh, I did not copy that. I did not copy it. I'm not sure of this. I can write it again, but then let's just copy it and then write in transit. Okay, so in transit, or let's start with not completed. Not completed, I'm going to not completed, and I'm going to enter. Okay, so new shipment, let's write another measure, and I'm going to call this in transit. I'm going to change this one to transit. And enter there. So this is done. We have one more. I think there's a problem here. The syntax total shipment is incorrect. Oh, sorry, there should be a comma here. Let's revert that. Okay, so new measure, and this time around it's not done, completed, ready for pickup. Okay, so I'm going to do ready for pickup, and I'm going to call this percentage ready for pickup. Okay, so we're writing this docs, right? I want us to build along, but let's see if I can write some of the docs that we need for the first API. So we've written our shipment. We know our shipment completed. We have the breakdown of the shipment completed by of the total shipment. What we need to know is how many of the shipment arrived early and how many arrived late among the ones that have been completed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write another docs, and this time around I'm going to try to filter, right? I'm going to try to filter and say this. That's not coming up in the measure. I'm going to call this early shipment or early arrival or late arrival, but let me say completed. Let's just see for completed. I'm going to say early, completed early, and I'm going to still use the calculate function. I'm going to use calculate function, and I'm going to say calculate let's say count rows, and I'm going to bring in my fact. And because where this fact table, I'm going to filter by the status, shipment status, and I'm going to say where the shipment status is greater than, less than or equal to, estimated date. There's a column estimated delivery date. So shipment status equal to, when the shipment status is equal to completed, right? And when the delivery date is less than or equal to the estimated date, then we'd say they've arrived early, right? So yeah, I think this will give us what we want. Okay, just close this bracket, or do this and close this bracket and press enter. Okay, let me write another one. Let me check how many hour mark we are. Okay, we are a little close to the 1 hour mark, about 10 minutes. So I'm going to call this late. I shall just copy down. Let me just copy this early and copy this, and let me measure and do this. So instead of less than, I'm going to say greater than. So when the delivery date is greater than the estimated delivery date, then it is late. Okay, so I keep forgetting the that's why copy and paste is not really good, but you have to do that since it's the same thing. So I'll just do this. Now remember what you have. I think what I have in my KPI is not the amount, but the percentage. But because I need to write this measure, so I'm going to just do percentage of stock that were early. Okay, just like we did for this one. So I'm going to say percentage of completed delivery that were early, and I'm going to say equal to divide. I'm going to divide early, this one, by completed, not percentage of completed, shipment completed. Okay, shipment completed. I'm going to do this, copy this, and enter. Let me rename this to completed instead of complete. Then let's write one more DAX and see if we can begin to format our stuff. So let's do this. I'm going to call this late shipment, or percentage of shipment that arrived late. And instead of early here, I'm going to have late here. And enter. Okay. The value S cannot be determined. Okay, so I'll change it to completed. Yes, change it to completed and not the adjustment. Now, if you check here again, you will see that I have this calculated this year over year, previous year and previous month. So I'm going to do that. I think that will be the last DAX we write in this particular video part, this part of this video, and then subsequent video would continue. Okay, we'll continue the formatting. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to create another more like a table to hold my DAX measure. So I'm going to write growth rate, and I'm going to load. Okay, so I have it here. I want to write everything around my growth rate here. So first measure I want to write is I want to check for the year over year. Since I think from the visual we have it for all, so I just calculate everything once. Okay, we have it for except this. So I'm just going to calculate everything once. So I'm going to look for the same period last year for completed shipment, and I'm going to say calculate, and I'm going to say completed shipment, which is this completed shipment. Okay, and I'm going to say same period last year for my dates, and I'm going to close the bracket, close this bracket, probably copy and enter. So I have this for completed. I'm going to do for in progress, and I'm going to do for shipment value. So come here and paste this. I'm going to say in progress, and here instead of having completed, we're going to have in progress, same period last year. And for this, I'll write another one. I'll call this one shipment. I think this is for shipment value, same period last year, shipment value. And I'm just going to have shipment value here, total shipment value. Okay, so I have the total shipment value, and I'm going to do okay. I think those are the three we did. Okay, so I'm going to calculate their year over year, which is usually the percentage difference or growth difference, percentage difference between both the current year and the previous year. Sometimes calculated current year minus previous year over current year. Okay, let me see. Okay, I have like, let's see. When I'm done writing this down, so I'm going to end this for the I'm going to wait for the next part. And yes, lest I forget, I'm going to press Ctrl S to save. Where's my growth? Did I delete anything? Hold on. Can't find. Oh. Okay. Okay. So I wanted to add this column, but I deleted it. So I'm going to write another measure over here, and this one is going to be year over year analysis. So I'm just going to do. I'm going to call this year over year. I'm not going to call this year over year completed. I want to do year over year completed. Okay, so now this year over year completed, please, I will try to be a bit slow here, and I'm going to say equal to. Now the first thing I want to do is, because I want to have some trend icon up or down, I'm going to first of and foremost use the variable keyword, the var keyword in DAX to define a variable. Okay, I'll first use that to define my variable. So the first variable I want to do is, I'm going to call this variable, and I'm going to say year over year, right? This is what I want to calculate, year over year, and I'm going to say my year over year is going to be divide. I'm going to divide. This is my calculation. I'm using the var to define the variable for year over year, and hold it till I need it, or I'll be using it and then ask it to return or display it. Okay, so I'm going to have divide, and I want to divide year over year. I'm going to divide previous year, which is same period last year for same period last year for completed, right? Same period last year for completed with current year minus previous year over previous year. Okay, so let me do completed and shipments completed divided by same period last year completed, and I'm going to do this -1, which is the formula for calculating percentage difference, right? So the next thing I want to do is, I will now say return, right? I'll now say return if my variable year over year, you see it's this is the if my variable year over year is greater than 0, right? Then I want you to return, since it's a true or false, I want you to return. Now, if you're using a Windows, I don't know the equivalent for MacBook, but if you're using a Windows, if you hold your Windows key and press full stop, you should see some of these icons or emojis. So I have this I've used. Let me check. The ones I've used recently. I think it's somewhere around here. Okay, so I want you to return this, but I'm going to put this in a string. I'm going to do the okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it in the quotation. Return this if the value is greater than 0, but if it is less than 0, that you're having negative minus something, I want you to return this icon. So this icon, I'm going to down icon, this icon, and while at it, I also want to ensure that you format my year over year in percentage. Okay, format this in percentage and close this. Now I'm going to Ctrl A and Ctrl C. So let me show you what I have here. Let me show you this in the card visual. So if it's less than that, if it's less than 0, you're going to have that. If it's greater than 0, you're going to have this. So this is 25. You have this upward trend, right? This trend icon. Okay, so I'm going to do that for others. So I just copy and paste. First, write a variable to define a variable for what you want to calculate first, and then later you can return it. So I'm not going to call this. This is in progress, I think. Yes. So in progress, and then this is going to be same period last year for in progress. Makes sense. Okay, same period last year for in progress. I'm not done. Year over year for in progress. Remember that our shipment in progress consists of our transit. Those in transit, those are ready for pickup, and those that have not been completed or the processing have never started at all. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Just still leave it year over year. I can put year over year P and the variable name, but it doesn't affect it. So I'll just leave it and do this. And I have that here, and let's see if it's negative or positive. Year over year, it's still the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for my year over year for my shipment value. So shipment value, I'm just going to do this shipment value, total shipment value, and then I'm going to do supply for shipment value, and the same thing I did this. So we are done with the year over year. We just need to calculate the month over month. Makes sense, right? So the variable ensure that we don't have to write multiple docs. Instead of writing this one and then come and do all of that, we can just use the variable to do this once and for all. So I think we just do the last few ones, and now the previous months. So I'm going to call this PM. I want to call this PM completed. So previous months complete shipment that were completed in the previous month, and I'm going to use calculate. And this time around, I want to do shipment completed. Shipment completed. Okay, versus then previous month. I say versus the previous month, and of course my dates. My dates, and I'm going to close this, copy this, and press. I think I have 2 brackets to close. Okay. Okay. New measure. This one should be for in progress. Previous months in progress. I'm just going to do this in progress, and with this. Okay. Write this again. New measure. Shipment value. Shipment value. I'm going to call this. I'm going to shipment values. So let me just do value. So total shipment value. Okay. Total shipment value, and this previous month, and enter. So I'm going to do the month over month, just like we did for this. So I'm going to come here and do month over month. So it's similar to what we did for year over year. Same thing. So I'm just going to call this month over month completed, and equal to, want to do a variable. I think I have it copied. Let me